Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. As we random again. Oh, that's an Dazzle. If I've ever seen one. What did I tell you? When you played the game as long as I have, you start to see the matrix. Here's your seed, 8FBE2ABK. Dare I? I will almost always take a pill that has a duplicate. Everything else, I mean, it didn't turn out badly. I am going to Fool card to save us a little HP, by the way. It's not like I'm going to save it to use it to get out of boss trap. I mean, that's like a... that's a long way away. I can't even see, 30 seconds into the future. Much less, 19.5 minutes, potentially. What do you expect? Would you like... It's a real question for you to start off today's episode. There's a 2003... Yo, I actually like this. Because you can go like that. Get a little extender. There's a 2003 or 2004 movie. And yeah, rest assured, like, my confidence is shaken by the fact that I don't remember what year it's from. I'm going to say it's 2003. It's a movie directed by Tim Burton. Wow, insulting. Tim Burton. It's called Big Fish. Stars Albert Finney, Jessica Lange, Billy Crudup. I believe the most famous actor would probably be Ewan McGregor, followed by the first on-screen role that I can remember in English cinema of a young Marion Cotillard, to phrase it in the same way that Alex Trebek would, who played, if I remember correctly, the wife of Billy Crudup. Anyway. And in the movie is a little fantastical fairy tale sort of deal, grounded in real life and full of real world problems. Young Ewan McGregor sees in a witch's eye the way that he's gonna die. And as a result, I'm not gonna spoil the movie for you. I don't like basically any of the movies Tim Burton made after like 1996, with the exception of this movie. Big Fish, I think, is a fantastic film. But anyway, he sees that he's gonna die as an older person. He sees the way he's gonna die. He's gonna be an old man surrounded by loved ones, right? As a result, that gives him the courage and the confidence to live the rest of his life. He takes risks in the Second World War because he knows that the worst case scenario is he'll be captured or hurt, but he's not going to actually die. It gives him a little bit of peace of mind to live with the reckless abandon that would probably, make Walter Mitty jealous. Would you, given the gambit, I will just take it for damage, given the option, would you take the witch up on her offer? Would you want to know how you're going to die? It's tough, right? Because if I was definitely gonna die as, like, let's even be a little modest, okay, and say, like, if I looked 60 or over, I think I would want to know. Because even if I held up my ID in the vision and it was like, you're 60, at least for the next 30 years, I think I would live with a little bit more zeal. I would be like, hey, the worst case scenario is, I'm not going to die if I do this. Would I do more risky activities? I don't know, probably not, because I just don't find them enjoyable. But I'd have a lot less anxiety about things, I guess. Even though my chief anxiety on the regular is not death, it would still alleviate some of that concern. But if I looked at it and I was like 45, I would be like, what the heck? I would live the rest of my life in the paralysis of, like... it would have the opposite effect on me. It would have a chilling effect. I think I'm happier not knowing, but still trying to internalize the lesson. I don't believe, by the way, and I'm always here to stand up for the most boring people on planet Earth, myself included. One of my least favorite expressions on planet Earth is live every day as if it's your last. It's terrible advice. If tomorrow were my last day on Earth, I mean... what would I do on my last day? I guess it's a little bit of a different story depending on, where you're at in your life. But, I mean, I would spend time with my loved ones for sure. But, if you were a little younger and you were living every day as if it's your last, what would you do? Well, you would say, I don't care about any consequences ever. I'm just gonna, you know, get hammered and... Did you hear that? I thought that was Windows, but I'm pretty sure it was the dog. It's how much is that doggy in the window? Not, I thought it was a doggy, but it's Windows. And it's kind of, you know, you'd get in a lot of trouble, is all I'm trying to say. You shouldn't live every day as if it's your last. That's very bad advice. You should live every day as if it's meaningful to you. You know, you should try to accomplish something that's meaningful in the scope of your overall life. The other thing is, if you lived every day as if it was your last, your life would be a dead end. You know, because if it's your last day on Earth, you're never going to do things that might require some hardship today in order to lead to, you know, fruitfulness later, you know? You're never going to invest. And I'm not saying that that means you'll have a meaningless life. I'm just saying, you know, hey, Grandpa, where's your retirement fund? Oh, well, I was too busy blowing it on baseball cards when I was your age because I wanted to live a little. Lived every day as if it's my last. I thought, whatever, maybe I'll be dead by then anyway. End up putting that burden on other people, you know? You should live every day remembering that your life, you know, should be lived with some kind of passion and meaning, but definitely do not live every day as if it's your last. That's irresponsible. If you have a prognosis that makes that applicable, by all means, do whatever you want. If the doctor's like, hey, you know, you got a year to live, do whatever you want. Do whatever self-destructive sort of stuff you feel like, you know, you want to get out of your system. But if you're just using that as an excuse to, you know, for bad behavior, that might be a little bit selfish, you can frick off with that nonsense. Yo, there's our boss fight already. Because we're a Dazzle, like, the run is obviously totally fine. But we wouldn't mind getting a defensive item. Just something to sort of take us to the next level, you know? Something to guarantee us survival and success. Mr. Dolly's actually pretty helpful, but we'll explore a little bit more. I don't know, I kind of like the opposite, even though there's problems with that as well. I think it depends on your nature, though. If you're the kind of person who keeps putting things off and is like, I'll do it later, maybe the advice to live more days as if they're your last is appropriate. But, you know, for other people, I think it's not terrible advice to say, live every day as if you'll live forever. If you live forever, what kind of decisions would you make in your life? Probably save a little bit more money. Probably, you know, even if it took you 10 years or 15 years to get into the career path that you wanted to go on, you'd be like, whatever, I'm going to live forever. So, you know, I'll just get it done anyway. You know, instead of putting stuff off, you would get on it right away so you could enjoy it for longer, maybe. Hold on, what do you got for me? Maybe, maybe not. Some people might take that the wrong way. If they could live if they knew they were going to live forever, they might be like, I'll start doing positive things tomorrow. Dude, I totally would have expected the secret room to be in the other room, so I think we got lucky here. I'll fight an angel statue just for humor's sake. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that subject, okay? That's why there's Jim Carrey movies I like and Jim Carrey movies I dislike. Obviously, you know, I like The Truman Show. I like Dumb and Dumber, The Cable Guy, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Liar Liar, Man on the Moon. Those ones are the obvious ones. But Jim Carrey movie I do not like, Yes Man. Even though a lot of people go, well, it was a little cheesy, but it had a good message. I don't think it had a good message. I think it had a terrible message. Jim Carrey, he works at the bank. I'm deliberately caricaturizing myself a little bit here. He works at the bank as a loan officer. He says no so much in his life. I forget what happens. He's trying to self-help book, or he gets struck by lightning, or he gets visited by the ghost of 3 James Careys, past, present, and future, or something. And he goes, you know what? I resolved to say yes to everything for 30 days. He does some good stuff. You know, he saves somebody from ending their own life. I'd say that's an opportunity where that philosophy, you know, I don't know if you necessarily need the book to tell you to do that. I feel it's just a, you know, a good citizen sort of thing to accomplish. But simultaneously, I'm not going to say that, you know, just because the means are a little foolish, that the ends were not justified. But he also becomes absolutely horrific at his job. I'm not defending, you know, big banks necessarily. Except for Lloyd Banks, one of the founding members of G-Unit. Or as I call it, NL, don't say it. Don't say it. Goonit. But, you know, people were coming in and, you know, Jim Carrey's like, hey, what do you want? And he's like, I want $30,000 so I can buy a motorcycle. I've always wanted a motorcycle. And he's going, yup, like Dave Hester in Storage Wars. That's not a good thing. And the movie sort of is like, hey, you're really bad at your job now, but it's worth it because you're like a better human being. But, like, he's insanely bad at his job. He's just giving, like, he's turned the bank into something that just gives people money with no hope of getting it back. And I'm not saying he turns the bank into a charity. He's not giving it to needy people who are like, you know, I want to, you know, buy medicine for people in need. It's just like, I want my roof to look different. Yep, that's not a good message, in my opinion. We can disagree on this, and that's okay. You know what I think would be a sick movie? And it would be called No Man. And I'm not gonna make it because I have no filmmaking chops. Maybe Mouth can make it. He handled Dragon Slayer Doppelganger. What it would be is it'd be about a man who constantly says yes to people and takes on like way more than he can handle. And one day he's talking to somebody and they go, hey, why don't you learn how to say no? And then the rest of the movie is people being like, hey, could you help me with something? And he goes, nope. No, I cannot. And then he lives his life, and you gradually see him get in a better and better mood as he becomes more and more stress-free from burdening himself exclusively with the problems of himself instead of the petty problems of those around him. And as a result, he has better relationships with his loved ones and a more fulfilling time at work. And, you know, just generally a lot less stress in his existence as a result of finally learning how to say no. I think No Man could be a really, really inspiring story. Now, I do wish that I had taken the HP. I'll still take Eye of Belial, because I think that it'll make... Well, let's see what happens when we shoot an enemy. It might make that enemy take double damage against the beam. I thought, you know, selfishly, it might make the beam longer as well. You could gaslight me on that one, by the way. First off, is No Man based on my own life? No, it's based on an idealization of what I want my own life to be. Why walk into the enemy? Slow down a little. It's not, you know, the message of my spec script for No Man is not don't help other people. You know, the message is put on your own oxygen mask first, unless the person is incapable of putting on their own oxygen mask, you know? Like, if somebody's like, hey, can you help me? Can you shovel my driveway? And you're like an able-bodied young person yourself who would just rather not do it. I'm sorry, that's one where the superhero known as No Man is going to appear and say, I'm afraid I don't have time in my schedule for that. If you see an old lady fall down an icy staircase, you don't go, oh, not my problem. First, you chuckle a little bit internally because you're a human being, and that doesn't make you the devil. But then you go over and you go, oh my god, are you okay? Can I help you, please? That's the essence of the movie known as No Man. We're not going to be able to get Jim Carrey. He's busy with other stuff. I'm sorry to say he's already given us the Ixnay. Maybe we can get Jim Belushi. Oh, he's not going to be a sympathetic character. I really need somebody who's got some natural charisma. Otherwise, people are just going to be like, No Man's a jerk. Ooh, what is it, boy? A special rock? What kind of... Oh! Thank you. He got us Eden's blessing. It's not going to be a tears up for us right now, but, you know, getting an item on our next run is real good. I mean, there was like a decade of Jim Carrey movies, and I like Jim Carrey as an actor, believe it or not. despite what I'm saying here. But there was like a decade of movies where basically he just had some supernatural gimmick associated with them. You know, Liar Liar, great movie. I feel like Liar Liar it's Yes Man but better. Because he, you know, lying is seen as a bad thing, and by telling the truth, it forces the main character to. I don't think we've gotten HP yet, but oh no, I'm a fool. It forces the main character to examine his relationship with lying, but it does also leave you with the lesson that sometimes lies are not a bad thing. You know. Sometimes lies, you know, little white lies can be used to protect people as opposed to being brutally honest in all circumstances. And I genuinely think that there's a case for that. I recognize that, you know, I'm lied to on occasion. And as long as those lies come from a place of trying to protect me from some kind of minor thing, by all means. The lesson of Liar Liar is definitely not tell the truth in all circumstances. I think the lesson of Liar Liar is, hey, Jim Carrey, lie a little bit less and be a better dad for your kid, okay? Don't use lies to get out of responsibility that is, you know, stuff that you should be taking on, like going to your kid's birthday party. That's kind of a D-hole move. But then Yes Man is just like, what if I said yes to everything for 1 month? That's not the way that a rational adult should think. If you ever encounter a self-help book that's like, just try applying this one strategy to literally every situation in your life, you know, run far in the other direction. That's not the way adult life is, at least, you know, from my decade of experience with it. You know, some things require a more nuanced situation. When you think about how you communicate with people, you know, you got to think about context, you got to think about your own mental health, you got to think about, you know, where they're at personally, what's your relationship with them. Like, for example, if your mom asks you for help, you know, vacuuming the house or something like that, yo, bro, she's your mom. Pick up the vacuum. You're probably living there rent-free. You know, what is, you going to play one more game of League of Legends? Just vacuum, you know? This is me talking to my younger self. If a random stranger is like, hey, bro, you want to come over to my house and vacuum my apartment? That's a different story. That's one where you run far in the other direction, and while you're running, you pull out your phone and you take a photo of him because that man has committed a few murders and the police are looking for him. They call him the vacuum cleaner killer. He's trying to make you his next victim. Run far, far away. Jim Carrey. And here's the thing, I wouldn't take advantage of Jim Carrey in the Yes Man movie, but he's being taken advantage of. You could just ask him anything, and he's gonna say yes. Hey, Jim, wanna pay my taxes for me? There you go. Free tax for 1 year. Thanks a lot, Yes Man book. You know, I feel like if they could get the author of the fictional book that the Yes Man is based on, you know, Jim Carrey would talk to him, and he'd be like, well, when I said say yes to everything, I didn't mean like all this other I meant like, you know, new opportunities. I didn't mean... You know, no, of course you shouldn't just be giving your life savings to someone because they asked. Are you out of your mind? Anyway. 30-year-old boomer owns Hollywood movie with logic and reason. What have I become? Yeah, and we don't see Jim Carrey breathe oxygen over the course of the movie either. What, are we supposed to believe that he's using some kind of anaerobic respiration? So we have Shielded Tears. I can't believe we still got hit there. But Shielded Tears, so good. I can't believe we're like record time here. I think we made the right decision. You're going to think I'm losing it. We still could die. We probably won't. But our HP is pretty bad. Couple of rooms go the wrong way. You know, we lack... or we pay less close attention than we should, things could go wrong. And I'm very happy we got Krampus's head because, oh my god, we have 5 luck as well. That's so good. Because Krampus's head is basically Once every 6 rooms, unlimited range. That also kills everything. By the way, if you like Yes Man, that's fine. I accept you can like the movie without buying into the idea that the movie itself represents a, you know, transformational philosophy by which people should be living their life. At the end of the day, it's an entertainment product. You know, when people like the Adam Sandler movie Click, that doesn't mean they're financing, you know, the invention of a remote that allows you to fast forward through your own life. You know, the movie does, it tackles the problems associated with it as well. You know, it's not like exclusively the movie goes, hey, Jim Carrey said yes to everything and now his life's perfect. You know, I'm sure there's repercussions because, you know, that's the classic 3-act formula. You know, there's got to be some kind of conflict. Then a rising action and a denouement. That one spirit heart. Hoping it gets to go a long way. One more spirit heart, please. Thank you. Don't do it. I just gotta say, it's terrible placement, my friend. You have made a colossal mistake. There's absolutely nothing to complain about on this run, except for range. And I'm not gonna be the guy who's like, Dazzle's got bad range. You know, it's just, it's an unbecoming position. Everybody knows that Dazzle's got bad range. He compensates for it with, you know, an incredible killing power. Okay, we've accomplished my goal there of using Krampus's head to get through the hardest phase, or what I would consider to be the hardest phase, at least. I think we're gonna be okay. It's a very fast run as well. Frenetic. Doesn't waste any time. Incubus is just a value add. If it sneaks some damage in, I'm happy. If it doesn't, that's, you know, not its fault. Very much to be expected. 5 luck should give us at least a few items on this chest floor as well. So, certainly interesting. I will take technology. It gave us a damage upgrade. I will also take Shoop de Whoop, which I think is just really, really good for us. Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much got it all sorted out. You can sometimes find yourself in the times of trouble on an Azazel run. This is not going to be one such run. Maybe we didn't get a true wombo combo, like run sundering potential, but we got enough solid items for sure to keep us, you know, way in the money on this one. Now, I'm not mad, but, you know, with 5 luck for entertainment value purposes, you'd like to see a little bit more of a payout, you know, on the chest aspect. Thank you. You know what? No, thank you. That being said, I am going to take anti-grav. Just out of curiosity's sake. In fact, my brain switched to anti-grav mode already. It was trying to brim snap there. I think against the boss, anti-grav just crushed it. Dude, that was a fun run. Look for No Man coming out. It's an Annapurna film. He knows the name of a studio. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Of course, follow me on Twitch to be notified when I go live in the future. Twitch.tv/Northernlion. For now, though, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!